the Right Reverend Emmanuel Madueke joined the Christian faithful to make conscious commitment to the gracious calling of God upon their lives through Jesus Christ. According to him, God's people must always seek to appreciate God's call to responsibility as a church and live up to it by returning to the way by which the Lord has chosen to build his church. Earlier, the Archbishop of Owerri Ecclesiastical Province, the Most Reverend Dr. David Onoha, who led other bishops to the synod, encouraged Anglican faithful and Christians at large to bring their tithes to their local churches in order to ease the pressure of doing ministry in the rural areas. He restored the giant strides of the episcopacy of Bishop Emmanuel Madueke and prayed for God's continued Diocese of Ijebu. The Diocese of Okigwe South Anglican Communion has held her 14th biannual Women's Guild Conference. The conference had its theme as Not by Might nor by Power and was held at St. Simon's Anglican Church under Oboma Archdeaconry. In her address, the wife of the Bishop of Okigwe South, Mrs. Blessing Onoha, explained that to rely on might and power is to exalt oneself or rely on oneself. She went further to say that such person is one who thinks he stands on his own merits, adding that it is an excessively intensified sense of well-being, power, or importance. At its words, it is self-tribute, self-reliant, self-praise, self-honoring, self-glorifying, and self-worshipping. Mrs. Blessing Onoha went further to advise women and, in extension, Christians to rely on God instead of one's might and power, because the arm of flesh will fail. Now, in order to provide a platform for all Ijebu sons and daughters to thank God together, relate together with one another and meet one another, provide platform for feedback from various churches, and to reach out for mission and evangelism, proclaiming the gospel of Christ to people in the remote areas, the Ijebu Anglican Diocese has held a harvest service for sons and daughters in Eba in the west. The preacher at the harvest, the Diocesan Bishop of Ijebu Diocese, Right Reverend Dr. Peter Rotimi Oludipe, welcomed everyone to the 2022 Harvest Thanksgiving and thanked God for his mercies upon their lives. He especially thanked the Diocesan Bishop of Egba, the Right Reverend Emmanuel, and Dr. Mrs. Adebimbe Adekunle for allowing them to use the church as venue, and appreciated the priest in charge for making the church available for the service. Speaking on the theme of the harvest, which says Harvest of Thanksgiving, he said harvest time is a time to express thanksgiving to God for his faithfulness, love, protection, and grace upon his children, despite the challenges in Nigeria at this time. Moving forward, the Christian Association of Nigeria, Acnn, has urged the federal government to set up a presidential flood relief and rehabilitation committee, as it says victims of the deadly floods across the nation were in dire need of financial support. Acnn President Archbishop Daniel Oko issued a statement in Abuja lamenting the number of people displaced, as well as homes, businesses, farmlands, and worship centers damaged. He said the committee should consist of eminent and wealthy Nigerians who will mobilize assistance from the public and private sectors, as diligent intervention by all stakeholders will reduce the burden imposed by the natural disaster. He called for an improved warning system, flood-resilient buildings, and increased spending on flood defenses, thereby urging the authorities to design and implement permanent solutions to the flood disaster. Oko also advised Nigerians in rural and urban areas to embrace planting of trees strategically, warning the authorities to stop at nothing to restore rivers to their natural courses and introduce water storage areas. The Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Ijebu, has said that religious leaders in Nigeria must remain open while making efforts to unite the people, regardless of their faith, social backgrounds, and political differences. Ijebu, who stated this while playing host to a delegation from the Methodist Church of Nigeria, led by its prelate-elect, Most Reverend Oliver Ali Abba, at the State House, Abuja, emphasizing the issue of unity. Now, speaking on the task before religious leaders in the country, Ijebu stressed the need for leaders of faith to be open, accommodating various interests and views, regardless of people's religious or socio-political backgrounds. According to him, Christ died for all, and as believers, it is very important that they reach out to everyone for the sake of unity, adding that part of duties of Christian leadership is to ensure that they can display Christ's love so that many people can see and emulate. Ijebu expressed his support for the incoming Methodist leader, Most Reverend Oliver Ali Abba, as he takes on the office of the prelate next month. Now, that's all we can take for now. Please join us at 3 p.m. West African time for the news on the hour. I am Charles Philip Wakalam. Bye-bye.